D360 TV proudly presents Messages of Inspirational Stories, broadcasting and live streaming to millions of devices around the world, including Roku, and live streaming to Facebook Live. Also on Amazon Fire TV and to Twitch. Also Android TV and Periscope. Broadcasting to Apple TV and YouTube Live. Proudly brought to you by our host, Donna and producer and host, Michaela Vidal, host and administrator, and Jim Grant, producer and host. Proudly brought to you by the 6minutewebinar.com.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Messages of Inspirational Stories. It's Friday, Jim.
Yeah, it is. And your mic is a little bit off there. I don't know. Maybe you didn't put a quarter in it. Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay, I'll let you work with that a little bit. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Our show is proudly brought to you by the good guys at the 6minutewebinar.com. Their website is 6minutewebinar.com, sixminutewebinar.com. And as soon as I find it, I'll put it up there. There we go. And if you're wanting to find your ideal client, the 6-minute webinar is for you. It enables you to be able to get your message out to your ideal client, attract them, because sound like she's moving some boxes there. But,
My head.
oh, did you? It might be your mic rubbing against, your earring or something. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I took my earrings off because I didn't want my earpiece getting away. But as a complimentary gift, ladies and gentlemen, Donna and I would like to invite you to contact us here at the station, Inspiration D360 TV, and we'll be glad to be able to help you create your very own 6minutewebinar.com. It's a complimentary gift from Donna and myself, and the one common word that we hear when a person gets their 6-minute webinar is wow.
That is the truth.
Yeah, it really is. And Donna, I'll tell you, it's really, this is Friday, isn't it?
It is. The week has flown by.
It really has, yeah. It really has. And we've been talking a lot during this week about how you can reduce stress during Christmas holidays, to enjoy the Christmas holidays. And the main thing of it is that you want to make sure you enjoy the holidays. And a lot of people get overstressed about that, don't they?
They do. And, in my personal life, when I've been overstressed by the holidays, it is really from lack of planning. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something is moving with your mic there. I don't know what. And it's creating, it sounds like you're moving something, even though you're sitting still. I don't know what it is.
Let me go backstage real quick and try and fix it.
Okay. All right. All right. I understand. Every now and then, ladies and gentlemen, we have things that pop up like that unexpectedly. And right before the show, she sounded fine. We would go live, and then we have this little technical issue. And, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to the 6-minute webinar, it's really amazing how you start out and you're able to attract your immediate client right out of the gate.
Exactly, because it narrows it down and gets rid of all the fluff.
Mm-hmm. Because normally what we try to do is talk too much.
True.
We do. And every one of us is guilty of that. I'm as guilty of it as the next person. And during the 6-minute webinar, you start out saying, during this 6-minute webinar, right there, you've told us this little video is going to be 6 minutes long. Because a lot of times you get on a video and you don't know how long it's going to last, and it goes on and on and on.
Right. And then your audience is bored and timed out.
Mm-hmm. And then when you click on the little red X up there in the upper right-hand corner, are you sure you want to leave? Yeah. But during this 6-minute webinar, I will share with you 3 proven ways that you can blank. Notice right there, you've attracted your ideal audience. You have repelled everyone that's not interested in your 3 ways to solve whatever problem it might be. And it works seamlessly for speakers, for brick and mortar businesses. I mean, it's just so, yeah.
If you're selling a product, if
A
any
program.
kind of service, period.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you are open for business, it doesn't matter what it is, you are selling a product and or service. You are selling something.
Yes. And right there in that first sentence, the people out there is listening to it. They will know whether or not they want to listen for more information from you or not. Like I say, Mr. X said it best. What's the first thing you want to do with your marketing? And I was in that class and he asked me, and I said, attract everyone? No.
You want to repel them. You want to repel the people you can't help.
Yeah. Because a lot of marketers out there, they talk big numbers, you know, but really it's the little numbers, it's the little things in life that really help you in your hour of need. And we're going to be talking about little things in life that you can do to make this holiday season an event where you're not overstressed.
Right.
And right before the show started, Donna, we were talking about some good stress, weren't we?
We were. You know, a good stress for me is when I'm making dinner for my family. Mm-hmm. And I'm hurrying up to get everything, you know, the timing. So everything's hot and the timing of it. And I'm hurrying up and I'm running around the kitchen like crazy, trying to get everything done. For me, that's a good stress because that means we can sit down, we can eat, we can break bread and enjoy that time together.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I really think the best way to get your mind in set for the holiday season is to get busy and get involved with a charity. And our charity that we sponsor is Shelter a Soldier. This is a program where they go into the animal shelters. They pick the bigger dogs that have a very low or may not get, you know, adopted.
Right. And about 60 pounds and up.
Yeah. And they take these dogs, they train them specifically for PTSD and for TBIs, traumatic brain injuries. And then they bring in a soldier that they've already screened, and they bring in 4 or 5 dogs that fit that soldier. And they just let the soldier and the dog pick each other. And I believe the dog probably picks the soldier more than the soldier picks the dog.
Right.
But it's a wonderful organization. And their success rate is not a single soldier has committed suicide because that dog becomes their companion, their closest friend. And dogs are very intuitive when it comes to recognizing when a person needs help.
Absolutely.
Gosh, there's even been untrained family dogs that can sense when someone's going to have a seizure. Go ahead.
Hello. That'd be my puppy. He would always, before I moved and I'd have seizures in Ohio, he would always come and get right in front of me and just stare at me or you know, get like this close. And I'd be like, Jake, what's going on? So the first couple times he did it, I was like, what is wrong with him? I don't get it. And then I'd have a seizure. And then, you know, like by the third time, you know, I was a little slow in the going uphill trying to figure it out. But by the third time he did it, I realized he was sensing I was going to have a seizure. So they are in tune.
I'm munching a little bit on a cough drop there, folks. So please bear with me. My throat was a little rusty before the show. But I also want to encourage you to get involved locally right now. And, you could donate canned goods to a food bank. You can donate your time to a food bank. Uh, we worked
Good.
very closely for many years with the Brazos Valley Food Bank, and I donate a lot of time there. And I don't know if I should tell a funny story out of school or not, but I think I will. One of my jobs was that in the wintertime to bring out either coffee, I bring out coffee and hot chocolate. In the summertime, I'd make up a lot of lemonade. Well, this one Saturday, I think it was in June or July, I was over energetic and I made a lot more lemonade than I should. So these guys are coming through and I'm also giving them lemonade. And these four guys, they came up in the car there and I've known them for years. And I said, would you guys like to have some lemonade? They said, yes, sir, we would. So I give all four of them a cup. And they take a sip out of the cup and they're, oh my goodness, it's the best lemonade I think I've ever had. And with my warped sense of humor, of course, now we're up at the church building. That's the scenario. And that's important because I looked at them and I said, well, don't tell anybody, but I made it out of holy water. They all four did a freeze frame looking at their glass. And I said, I'm not making this up. We get our water out of that big hole in the ground up there at Lake Somerville.
I love it.
And they all started laughing. And, everyone had fun. But it's so important to be involved and for others to see in their hour of need that you're there helping them. We're there, we package up the groceries, we hand out the groceries, that sort of thing. And that's a wonderful way of giving back. And just get involved, check with your civic groups. Find ways that you can get involved and have your kids get involved because kids love to help others. Give them that opportunity.
Well, and Jim, there's a lot of animal shelters that as long as an adult is accompanied, a younger child, that they can volunteer with mom or dad or older brother or sister, that kind of thing. And, they can get involved and do that. I know I've done some major volunteering at one of our lost our home shelters here in Tempe. And what an amazing privilege it is to be able to work with those animals. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And call them up and ask them, what are some of the things that you need that I can, help donate,
Right. A lot of the shelters need towels.
Yes. I saw that on the list.
Old towels, if, you've got leftover food from animal that's passed, that can be donated to them.
Yes. Yes.
There's numerous ways that you can help if you don't have the time or, don't have a lot of, extra cash right now. A lot of us folks out there don't. So there's a lot of ways just cleaning out stuff around the house. You can help and bless people.
Take some of your stuff down there and, donate it to Goodwill, to the, there's places there in your town. I call it Goodwill because everyone knows what a Goodwill store is, but, they give out clothing and, shoes to others that in need, because we can all clean out our closets and give away some things that can be used for somebody else.
Right.
And that's the spirit of giving is what the holidays is all about. We covered that a little bit earlier in the week, but still it's so very important because there's a lot of people hurting out there.
Right.
And think about the people who are still worried about their health, and that's why Donna and I, we work very closely with Dr. George Grant. And that's his website there, Academy of Wellness. You can go there, you can fill out a form. It's got 10 questions and you can submit it to Dr. Grant. You can set up an appointment with him and he's got an AO scanner and he can scan you. And I will guarantee you, you will find out things about you that you did not know. And it's so much better to be in control of your life and say, okay, I've got a red marker here. rather than a
Right.
green marker. I need to address this. And Donna, that thing is just mind blowing, isn't it?
It is. It is. He as he was going through and reading it, and we were going through it after, he did the scan and did the results. He looked at me and he said, "You're not flossing your teeth every night." I'm kind of like looking around going, how in the Sam did he know that?
Yeah.
I probably floss my teeth 5 nights out of the week, being honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
But, there's a couple nights that I fall asleep and don't get them flossed. And I was like, and he's like, you floss your teeth every night, Donna. And the other thing that freaked me out was he was going through and he was seeing that I was having some bacteria issues in my body. And he looked at me and he goes, huh. And I don't remember which one it was because honestly, the name of the bacteria, are about cheesy Pete, about that long. But he said, "Donna, have you eaten sushi lately?" Now that freaked me out because about 2 weeks prior to the scan, my husband and I went out and we had some sushi. And I told him that. And he's like, "No more sushi. Not good for you. You can't have it. Not good in the bacteria department for you." And I'm like, okay. I mean, so it was crazy accurate. It was crazy accurate.
And the beauty in it, once you get the AO scan, it comes in an email to you.
Right.
You can forward that email to your doctor, and you can have the proper test and things that you need to be done or evaluated to be able to really fine tune. For example, when they take blood tests, you think, okay, they take a blood test, they're going to, look for everything. Well, they don't. They only look for the basic stuff. And that's how they did not know that I had H. pylori, H, capital letter, and then Pylori, which is a bacteria in your stomach that can create a stomach ulcer. And it did. And that sucker popped on me.
Ooh.
And it took 5 units of blood for me to get back on my feet. And I'm very grateful for it. And a lot of people said, "Gee, Jim, that was horrible what you went through." And I said, "Not really," because it allowed me to be able to, I think it was a blessing, really, because if that H. pylori stays in your system, and if the peptic ulcer does not start discharging, you're passing blood and all that, and hey, I got a problem, it can develop into stomach cancer.
Right.
So
right.
I said, hey, I was very thankful that it came to my attention that way. And so Dr. Grant, if you mention this show, he'll give you the AO scan for free. That's another one of our complimentary gifts. And I got to throw Donna's name in there, the producer and host here. She has donnaguinwa.com. She will give you a free 30-minute consultation, no pitches. And same thing with Dr. Grant, no pitches, how you can, deal with stress, or if you're dealing with something, or if you just like to have a good talk with a person who is, very knowledgeable in dealing with stress. And Donna, you've really got some skin in the game in that arena because what you went through.
I do. Stress, does horrible things to us. And all mine came to a head when I got really, really ill and was diagnosed after I'd gone through some tests. I had an MRI, and the MRI found that I had an aneurysm behind my right eye on the internal carotid artery. And then I had to undergo a bunch of tests. And that led to, 3-4 months worth of tests led to finding out I have MS. And that same day I was going to see my brain surgeon, my neurologist, and I was scheduling my first of 3 brain surgeries. Well, when you can kind of combine that, and as a single mom of 3 teenagers, it was stressful, and there was some depression, and it took me a little while to get out of it, but I realized I couldn't live like that anymore. That's just not who I am. It wasn't me being authentic to me. And so the skin in the game is finding out where your trigger is. It's a person, a place, or a thing.
Absolutely. And so Donna's a person that's she realized that, hey, what I learned in the process to deal with my anxiety and fear and all of my emotions, I could help others in their hour of need. So please get in touch with her. You can email her at just highenergyrightnow@gmail.com. And again, this is a total complimentary gift for us. And also, I'm going to mention Mr. Bill Heinrich. I got to mention
I
him.
love Bill.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bill Heinrich, he is the author of The 7 Levels of Truth. You've seen this book before. I'm going to show you to it again because these are niceties to know. That's Mr. Bill right there. And Bill is a gentleman who is, he helps you get clarity in your business. He's also the co-creator of the 6-minute webinar. And if you go to truelifepurposenow.com and contact Bill, Bill will give you a free 30-minute consultation on your business. And that's not all we got for complimentary gifts, is it? I forgot one when I was talking about the shelter to soldier right here. Kaboom, chicka boom. If you contact those folks, and if you donate $100 to the Shelter to Soldier organization, Mr. X, that marketing extraordinaire that we had on for 9 days, and we're going to do the reruns on that during the Christmas holidays, the marketing relationships. This guy will give you a free 30-minute consultation. He will go over your business plan, see how your marketing is. And he's pretty good, isn't he, Donna?
Well, that's an understatement of the year. Mr. X is incredible. He knows his stuff. He's forgotten more than any 100 people will ever remember or try and remember. But he walked into the Home Depot with his people
team
and the boardroom and nailed it. Nailed it. Hard to do with a company of that size. So Mr. X works with Fortune 100 companies. So he knows his stuff. But I got to tell you, folks, one of his loves is working with entrepreneurs. Working with the little guy. He loves that. He absolutely does.
So we've given you quite a few complimentary gifts here because it's important for you. And also here's another nicety to know. It's not a complimentary gift from us, but it's a nicety to know on YouTube, The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale. This will also enable you to, go to the area in your mind, visualize the kind of person you want to be, and realize that everything is within your reach if you're ready to reach out and grab it.
Right.
That's on YouTube. The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale. It's about 32 minutes long. And I recommend you to put it on your iPhone or your Android phone, whatever you listen to, and just lie down, close your eyes, relax.
Yes.
Where it's nice and quiet. And it may be in the middle of the night if you got kids in the house. I understand that. But you owe it to yourself just to relax and just listen to the information and see whether or not it's singing your song. Because that is a tremendous message. I still listen to it.
It is. I go back and listen to it from time to time myself.
And I know.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, because sometimes, at least for me, I find that when I go back and listen to it, I find I'm getting something out of it that I wasn't in that place before. Right? And that's the beauty of it.
It really is. And some good friends of ours are marketing relation partners with us. Mochhabun.ca. They're up in Canada. That's why it's CA. That gourmet coffee. Oh my goodness. You saw what I wrote to the lady up there yesterday, Jihad. And I tell you what, I told her which one's my favorite coffee. I wasn't, if you're watching, I wasn't implying for more free coffee. But if you want to send it, I'll drink it. But
It is amazing, you guys.
it really is.
And there's no acidic taste to it.
Mm-mm. It's a gourmet coffee. It really
Mhm.
is. And for someone for Christmas that's a coffee drinker, you might consider that. And if you mention this show, you'll get a discount. And I think it's at
And
least 20%.
I think so. And don't forget to treat yourself.
Hmm. Yeah. Yes.
Don't forget to treat yourself. If you're like Jim and I, we're pretty avid coffee drinkers. And, it is worth you having a special cup of coffee.
Hmm. Also, too, if you don't drink coffee and drink tea, treat yourself to a gourmet tea. You
Mm.
owe it to yourself. Yeah. And, one of the things that I've been drinking a lot more of is alkaline water. And Donna, I want you to share with them about that because this is another nicety to know because this will help you with your health. Because if you get your health and everything in balance, it's easier to, not let stress eat you up. That's where we're
Correct.
going. Mhm.
Well, and this came about again with Dr. Grant on the AO scan. And I have a Bubba cup. And I think most everybody knows what it is. And it's about this big and it's about this big around. And I drink about four or five of those a day. That's a boatload of water, right?
Mhm.
I think it holds like 30 some ounces.
Hmm.
And so in the scan, we're going through my results and he says, you're not drinking enough water. And my eyes probably got about as big around as a plate saucer. I said, oh, that's impossible. I drink a ton of water. And I showed him, how much I drink. And he said, okay, your body isn't absorbing it, Donna. You need alkaline water. So I looked it up on Google, right? Just looked it up. And you take a half a teaspoon of baking soda per gallon of water. You really don't taste it per se.
Mhm.
I feel like the water's a little softer, if
Mhm.
I could describe it that way. But
Yeah.
here's what I've noticed. Since I've been drinking the alkaline water, I am not needing to drink as much water as I did before. I mean, I still drink a lot, but not
Mhm.
as much
Mhm.
because my body's actually absorbing it now.
Mhm. And one of the things too about having your body more alkaline and less acidy is that, sickness and disease, it helps with your immune system because a lot of
Right,
diseases, I mean, let's face it, they need acid, they need an acidy type environment in your body to grow because everything on planet Earth from the molecular level on up, it needs nutrition to grow. And if you start taking away that nutrition, guess what? It can't grow. And that's just
right.
one basic idea there, but that's really a great thing there. It really
Right.
is.
You want your body to do what it's made to do
Hmm.
and knock out the ick that likes to come in our life, like stress.
Oh
And
yeah.
when we right, and so that it's a breakdown. And so
Hmm.
basically, if we can help ourselves to be healthier,
Hmm.
then stress and the honestly that disease that can come from a lot of stress won't always live there.
Hmm. I was looking at a quote earlier today by Bob Marley, and he
Oh, I
said,
love
"Love,
that.
yeah, love the life you live, and live the life you
Mhm.
love." Oh my
Yes,
goodness, that's a tremendous message, isn't it?
it is. Bob Marley's always been one of my favorites, and
Hmm.
I just love how grounded he was about everything. You
Yeah,
know,
common sense level. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So
Hmm.
it truly is, and we're talking about some of these quotes because they're so appropriate
Hmm.
for planning ahead for the holidays
Hmm.
so that you can have the time and the energy to enjoy the holidays.
Hmm.
That's
And
important.
and for you folks that's like me, you make a list and you want to get all these things done in a day, and the day comes and goes, and you didn't get everything on your list done. I used to not look at what I got done. I looked at the things on the list that I didn't get done, and it used to gnaw on me like a rat on cheese.
Hmm.
But look at it in the reverse. Give thanks and be grateful that you did accomplish the things that you accomplished during the day. And what you didn't get accomplished, today, okay, it'll be there tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Let it go. And when you when you do that, it's something about when your mindset is right, you're able to do things more easily or more fluidly, if that makes sense. That's what
Right.
I've experienced. But if you're all
Absolutely.
aggravated and torqued up, you're going to be pushing a chain uphill.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And another one that's from Gordon Hinckley is life is to be enjoyed,
Oh,
not
yeah.
endured.
Yeah.
So
That's
when
right.
we put all the negative out there, it takes away from our health. It takes away from our joy, and we're enduring life, right? We're not enjoying it. And that's the whole point. That's the whole point.
Yeah, because we're born in this world, we're born into more of a survival mode.
Right?
That's our mindset. And a lot of people never get out of the survival type mode. And that enslaves you. Because once you're able to realize, hey, my life is not about work and worry. My life's not about, being aggravated and putting up with things because like Donna says, it's either a person, a place, or a thing. And those are all physical. And, let it go.
Right.
Let it go. Love, if it's a person, love them enough
To
to
let them
let them go and let them enjoy themselves. And if you're married to a person like that, love the person, but don't let the person's ways rob you of your health, your happiness, and your peace of mind.
go. Hmm.
That's critical. It really
It,
is.
it is. It is. It is. We let people rent space in our head,
Oh, yeah.
right? And that takes away from our happiness. And at least in my life, when I've done that, then everything I would be trying to do, like plan for the holidays, fell through because they were so in my head. I let them rent all of that space and I couldn't focus on what was in front of me.
What was really important in your life, you're
Right.
just, it's all this mumbo jumbo going on up there, and it's really sad because I've known people in my lifetime that have lived like that. And I've known one lady, I think I've mentioned this on a previous show. In fact, I know I have. She lived on pins and needles because her husband was very, very jealous. If she was walking into a building and you open a door for her, she did not even want to make eye contact with you. She may just say thank you and keep looking down at her shoes and go on. But jealousy really is a form of hatred.
It is.
And it wounds a person very, very deeply. And, it's however you deal with it, as long as you know the truth about it, as long as you know the truth, you can face anything.
Right.
That's all I'll say about that.
So I found one from Gandhi that I love. And I think it's appropriate for every single person in the world.
Okay.
My life is my message.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what is your life about? Right? What is the message that you want to lead with your life?
How do you want to be known?
Right. And I love there's a poem called The Dash. And I don't have it obviously up in front of me, but it's quite long, but too long to go into now. But basically it talks about we're born, right? We're born on this day and we live our life and then we die on this day. And in between on a headstone is your birth date and your end date and the dash in between. And it's about how you lived your dash. What did you do with your dash, and how your dash will be remembered?
Wow. That's really amazing, because I like that, because so many times we read a little simple statement like that on truth and we go like, wow, I really need to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to hear, good positive reinforcements every single day in your life, because we're surrounded by a flood of negative things from left, right, front, behind us, and all that. Let all that stuff go.
More negative than I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They act like they got a patent on it. I like what Muhammad Ali said, don't count the days, make the days count. That's another good one.
Isn't that the truth?
So as you're heading into, the holidays, you want to make sure that every day you want to make it count for something. And, we talked about earlier in the week how about getting the kids involved and doing things. One of the things that came to my mind is that, set out a puzzle and set a time aside for the family to work on the puzzle. And you can take the same colored, type of pieces and put it in different little piles and let the individuals work on that.
Absolutely.
It's a lot of fun. And it brings closeness. When you're doing things together, it brings closeness together. It really does. It really does. And that's so important. Yeah.
Well, I was just, Elizabeth Gilbert wrote this: embrace the glorious mess that you are. We're all a mess, right? We're all a hot mess. So embrace that part of it, and, just don't let it bother you. Embrace it, because, when you embrace that, who you are, the mess and the not mess, it makes your day so much easier.
It really is. Excuse me. And I remember one time, this was about a year and a half, about 2 years ago, I was going to have Bill Heinrich on the show. And right before we go live on the radio show, I asked Bill, I said, Bill, what do you want to talk about today? He said, well, Jim, my life's a mess and so is yours. And I said, well, Bill, I'd like to be a little more positive about that if we can be. But he was positive, because,
yes,
when you accept the fact that everybody's life has messes in it.
Absolutely.
Everybody has shortcomings, faults, aggravations, and the list goes on, right? And that's where, if you learn to love yourself first and you love others, you can overlook a lot of the little, what I call baby stuff. Because that's exactly what it is. It's a bunch of nonsense. And we're all, we seem to all have our fair share of it. If not, I probably fudged in and got some from somebody else, got some of their rations of baby stuff. But the main thing, ladies and gentlemen, is that don't let it consume you. And because a lot of folks that get on TV and have podcasts and stuff, they act like their life is perfect. Nobody's life is perfect.
Nope.
Every one of us have lost loved ones. Every one of us have lost, those that are pet lovers. We've lost beloved pets. I've got a daughter that I lost. That's why you see the mountains there behind me. She's buried there in Bisbee, Arizona. That's why it's there. It means a lot to me. Everyone's had heartache. No question about it. And a few of us, we went through a couple of train wrecks. Like a friend of mine asked me one time, he said, well, when you were growing up, did you ever lose it? And I said, well, I never really lost it, but I definitely missed a couple of curves everybody knew I should have made, and I forgot to let off, But the main thing of it is forgive yourself. That's very, very important, because a lot of people are carrying guilt, especially if they lost a loved one right before the holidays, like we did. We lost a loved one to suicide. That brings a boatload of guilt.
It does.
And don't forget people who have lost their loved ones. Don't forget people who are maybe got divorced or alone include them in your holiday. Because if you look
Yes.
how to bless them, you're going to be super blessed yourself. And you know the big thing too, Donna? Don't try to plan the perfect holiday.
Right.
That'll create stress, won't it?
Whew. Right. I after kids, I realized that there is no such thing as perfection.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They taught me that. They taught me that your house, Donna, is not going to be clean all the time. You're
Yep.
not going to have the energy to clean it all the time. You're not going to have the energy to get the clothes done timely all the time. And you know what? You may have to rerun the dadgum dryer 3 or 4 times.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But that's okay. And Jonathan Swift said it best. May you live all the days of your life. May
I like
you
that.
live.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've always said that when it's my turn here on earth is done, I want to slide into home base in my cowboy boots and said, damn, what a party. But it's so important. And it doesn't mean, big partying or anything, but that you've lived and enjoyed and loved every second
Oh
that
yeah.
you have and leave that stress behind. Oh my gosh, I was the biggest stressor in the world before, pre-brain surgeries, pre-MS. I was just worry about my kids, worry about this, worry about that. And you know what? I find I worry about very, very few things anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And my life is so much easier. And the other thing, if I may add, and Jim knows this very well about me because not only are we business partners, but Jim and I are really good friends. We're, brother and sister.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay when you got to realize that some people in your life are causing that tornado, right? And you're in the eye of that tornado. I was there not too long ago, and I got out of that storm.
Mm-hmm.
And has my life been beautiful since. So not everybody in your life is there to help you.
Mm-mm. Some people in life, they seem like they enjoy being miserable. And that
And
reminds me
me,
of, yeah, yeah. That reminds me of Zig Ziglar talking one time. He was telling these group of people, he says, if this person over here is complaining and you solve their problem, what they're complaining about, they're going to get mad at you
right?
because they can't go over there and there and there and over there, those people, and complain and tell them what's going on because you solved the problem.
Right.
And there's some people that enjoy that and they thrive on that. And they don't realize that they really rob themselves of the true riches of life, joy, jubilee, and happiness, love, and abundance.
Right.
And I tell you, the happiest people I've known in my life were people who were very down to earth, giving, caring individuals.
And people who listen.
Yes. The most miserable people I've known in life that can never have enough are the people that, as my dad used to say, they're only interested in buttering their own bread.
Mm-hmm.
And what that means is when the money runs out for them, they evaporate too.
Right. Right. When you can no longer serve them in whatever capacity that is, then they don't want anything to do with you. Or
Right.
they get argumentative and they make it, well, it's your fault. It's your fault. Same thing. I mean, different ways to do it, but it's the same thing. So, it is truly about planning for the holidays is all of these things that we have talked about because we want you to have the most beautiful, loving, enjoyable, relaxing holiday season you have ever had in your life.
Absolutely. And make a holiday that's rememberable.
Right.
And remember this, that love and family is priceless. Gifts, I mean, Donna, what did you get for Christmas 5 years ago?
Couldn't
You
tell
really
you.
yeah, because we don't remember things like that. We really don't. We may
Mhm.
see something that someone gives us and reminds us, oh, okay, I got that for Christmas. But when you
Right.
go down memory lane, Donna, what do you people really think about? What comes
Well,
in?
5 years ago, I don't remember the Christmas gift, but I remember it was the last Christmas I had with my mother.
Mm, wow.
And I remember everything about that Christmas.
Mm,
I can still see her walking with her walker, but I can still see her walking in my mind's
mm,
eye.
mm. And ladies and
That
gentlemen,
is
I
that's
just picked
love and
five.
precious.
Yeah, and what I love about this show is that when the energy flows, there's always ideas and thoughts that come to mind that can touch someone out there. And I had no idea that it was 5 years ago. I mean, I knew she had lost her mom, but I did not realize it was 5 years ago.
Hmm.
And that just goes to show you and reinforce that when you're focused and you're coming from the heart and the abundance of the universe with love, I mean, it will give you the things to say that could bless someone out there. And if we only bless one person, our time has been well spent, hasn't it, Donna?
It has. Then we've set out to do what we accomplished,
Hmm.
or we've
Absolutely.
accomplished. I said that backwards. I think I said that backwards, but we've set out to do what we hope that we can do, is to bless somebody and lift them up and understand. And that's another reason that Jim and I give away so many complimentary gifts,
Oh
because we
yeah.
want to bless you. We want to lift you up. We want to be able to do things that would get you from where you are to where you want to be. And
Hmm.
we are honored to be able to do that and be the vessel to do that with.
Mm. I heard a quote one time, and I'm trying to remember who said it. Uh, it goes something like this. I'm probably going to butcher it because I'm going off memory. That success is loving life and having the courage to live it.
Yes.
I really like that. I do.
Hmm. Hmm. Not being scared.
Yeah.
And that kind of goes into planning for the holidays. And I know
Hmm.
that sounds a little bit weird, but it really does, because when you have the courage to really live your life every day, you're living it in a balance,
Hmm.
right? And when you plan for those holidays, you're in balance.
Hmm.
So your energy's in balance. You've planned, you've got your things laid out. Everything's in balance. And guess what? You had the courage to truly live your life.
Hmm. Yeah, you bet. You bet. And, I love the giving advice to tell people to find ways to treat yourself.
Oh,
That
so important.
is, yes, it is. Because a lot of people, especially mothers out there, they're so busy with the kids. They give, they give, they give. And the only thing they give themselves at night is just an easy chair and, they're
Right,
exhausted. But
right.
you gotta find something that's very special for you. Set aside that time for you because that's very, very important.
That was a
And
lesson I learned a lot later on, raising my children.
mm,
And if I could give one piece of advice to the younger moms out there,
mm,
it's listen and give yourself some time away. I'll tell you
mm,
why. Because you need it inside.
mm,
You need to be able to be alone. You need to not be demanded on. You need to just be for you, and you will come back more rested, and you will actually be a better mother because you've had some time away.
mm. Absolutely. And speaking of young mothers, we've got a young mother with us on the show. A lot of people have asked or wondered where Michaela is. And she told us the day she's going to have a baby girl, and she's been dealing with some nausea and stuff like that. So she didn't really feel like being on the camera. So that's why she's MIA, missing
Right?
in action. But she'll be back soon. We love
M
her
I
and we appreciate it.
MIPA. missing in pregnant action.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That too. That too. That's the pregnancy why she's missing in action. But we're so glad, and there's so many of our friends that are going through facing physical things, and sickness and disease and health issues, and we just want to say to you that you're in our thoughts and you're in our prayers, and it is our prayer for you to be made whole again. And we think about you every day, and we pray for you very often. And we just hope that you get restored to your much wanted health. And because when you have your health, ladies and gentlemen, you have everything. You really do. And that's why we've covered so much about stress and health issues, because that is the foundation for you to enjoy the holidays.
Right. That's being able to plan for the holidays is being able to alleviate the stress, and you can alleviate so much of that by planning it.
And plan on living it.
Right. Plan on some time for yourself.
And plan on enjoying the holidays one day at a time. And we talked about the 12 days of the spirit of the holidays, and do something, each individual day.
I love that one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And like that about the beautiful thing is you can wrap that around what works best for your family. That's what's so beautiful. It doesn't have to be, the normal whatever. You can make it and mold it just for your family.
Yeah, I saw where one family, what they like to do each year is make an ugly sweater. And they take an old sweatshirt, and there's no rules, and let the kids' imagination, just go wild. Whatever they want to glue or put on that, or take a crayon or whatever, let them go for it. Take a family picture of it, and then, let everyone in the family vote on who made or created the ugliest sweater.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm kind of jealous. I didn't think about that when my kids were young.
Yeah. Well, when your kids show up, you're gonna get out an old sweatshirt and have all kind of stuff on it, and
right.
Yeah, because a bottle of Elmer's glue with a sweatshirt, you can put a whole bunch of stuff on a sweatshirt.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
And knowing Donna the way I know her kids probably open the door if she has that sweatshirt on, that ugly sweater, and they'll think, "Uh-oh, I think Mom has mentally made the big escape."
Yeah, pretty much. They'd be like, "What are you doing now, Mom? Really?" Yeah. Act your age, Mom.
There you go. How old are you kids, if you don't mind me asking?
I will have one that will be my oldest will be turning 29 in November. 29. And then I have my middle one is 26, will be 27 next May. And then my youngest will be turning 24 in November.
Wow. They're all in their roaring 20s, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, I tell you, it's really amazing what your kids grow up. And when you have them young, they kind of grow up with you. And
I didn't have mine young, so I was an older mom.
Were you? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was 27 when I had my first one.
Yeah, but they're starting to catch up to you now, aren't they?
Maybe.
Mentally. You can really visit with them because
that way, that's beautiful that we can sit down and talk and it's not just the mom mode now. It's more of you're more into that friendship parent mode.
Yeah, and they're old enough. And they're old enough now to appreciate you as a parent. Like I tell people, my dad started getting real smart when I turned about 25.
Yeah, and isn't it funny? I think our children appreciate us also more after their children come around.
Yes, they do. They appreciate what you did for them because until they have kids, they don't have a clue what you went through. They really don't. Donna, our time is almost up. Oh my goodness.
It is. It's just gone like a snap.
I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, we really are so grateful that you tune in and watch the show. We're so grateful we have the opportunity to be able to share with you some free complimentary gifts that can enhance your life. That's one of the biggest things that we enjoy doing here. Because I don't know of any show that provides as much complimentary gifts as we do, Donna. I'm not saying they're not out there, but you'd have to look for a little while, I think.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
Dixie is bothering me.
Uh-oh. Here's Miss Dixie. She is just as cute. Oh, look at her. I just want to give her a big old kiss.
Hey, Dixie, how you doing, little girl?
See, your cat is nice. Mine are still kittens, so I have the studio door closed because they would have already chewed through my.
You see a little white feet?
Her feet, yes.
Yeah, I call them night lights because at nights, ladies and gentlemen, she runs through the house with that dark gray coat she's got. One for those little white feet, you wouldn't see her. I call them night lights. Tell them I'm glad she's got night lights, and she's over here. She's wanting me to pet her.
And I understand that because 2 of my cats are jet black.
Oh boy!
And then I have another one, Niner, who's completely gray. So there's, I can't see her at night. And then I've got a Siamese cat, and all her points are really starting to darken up and come in. So unless she's laying a certain way, I can't see any of my cats.
I hear you. They're so much fun. Well, ladies and gentlemen, our time is gone. We want to thank you so much for tuning in. We hope and pray that you enjoyed this week. We hope and pray we delivered some great tips for you. And be sure and take advantage of those complimentary gifts because those things is worth a lot of money. They really are. For you to be able to find something of that value, that caliber, and for it to be able to do for you what these complimentary gifts can and will do for you.
Right.
And on behalf of Donna and myself, thank you so much for tuning in. We want you to love yourself first, then you love others, and get rid of any aggravating person, place, or thing. That's your marching orders.
Bingo. Have a safe weekend, folks. We'll see y'all next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.